Anchor points are one of the most useful features in Substance Painter, and a lot of artists either skip them or only half understand what they're doing. Once this clicks, it makes your texturing workflow a lot more flexible because now you can reference information from one part of your layer stack somewhere else instead of building the same thing over and over. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple example of how you can clearly see how anchor points work and why they're so useful. Because once you see it in a basic setup, it gets a lot easier to understand in more advanced materials. Let's build our layers now using anchor points. So I will make a folder. I'll just call it logo. Throw my blue logo in here. And let's say I want to add a fill layer and give this a tint, right? For example, let's make this pretty obvious. But now we're running into this issue where it's affecting everything in the layer stack. So if I alt-click and look at this mask on my logo layer, I want to only apply it to this mask. We can do that by creating an anchor point. And the way to think about anchor points is that anchor points create a reference point and it groups the mask at that point. And that could be a single layer mask or an entire series, an entire stack. It will reference that entire mask layer. So that's what we're doing here. We create this anchor point on our logo layer, and in another layer, we're referencing it. And that's this reference here to this OM3D logo mask that's being referenced here. So let's do it. Let's create an anchor point. Right click and do add anchor point. I will just call this, OM3D logo mask. And if I go to this fill layer, I'll right click and add a black mask. The last thing I'd want to do is repaint this mask. So let's reference it elsewhere in the stack. So right click, add fill. And if you click on grayscale, this is where we have our entire library of generated anchor points. So simply select OM3D logo mask. And there you go. Just like that, we are now referencing this mask that we have lower in our stack in another layer. Now, the key thing to understand is this is a hierarchical tool. As in, if I move my logo above this, we completely lose the reference because anchor points, as the name implies, has to be at the bottom or has to be below wherever else we're referencing it further up in the stack. Substance also does a good job letting you know, like, hey, it's red, as in you broke the reference to the anchor point. So if I undo that, now I can just call this whatever I want, which is color variation. We can give this a little bit of a color, maybe something that's not, crazy different. And we have this teal on blue, and we have our mask. And now, just like before, I can right click and add a fill, and I can start layering and blending my masks. So I do that by, let's say, adding a grunge, dirt scratchy, and we see what happens. We lost our mask. So alt click, always, if something weird happens, alt click your mask and look what's happening. This mask is completely overriding it. Because why? We have blending modes within our blending mode. As in, we have blending modes within our masks. So now I can blend this. And one of the ways you can do this is just to do a simple multiply. Multiply. Why? Because multiply is a blending mode that multiplies white with black, and anything that's white, like we have here, will give us the full effect, and anything that's black will be completely masked out. And there you go, just like that. And now we have this color variation here. And like I said, we have blending modes and blending modes. Blending modes for our mask and blending modes for our actual full layer. So I can say, hey, let's just do this as a linear dodge add. Let's lower the blending mode, and there we go. So that's the core idea with anchor points. You're creating a reference lower in the stack, then using that information somewhere else, which gives you a much smarter, more controllable workflow. Once you understand the hierarchy and how the mask blending works, this becomes a really powerful way to build up detail and variation without repainting everything from scratch. If you want more Substance Painter workflow training like this, along with a bigger game art pipeline around it, check out my full course below. I'll see you there. If you want to learn game art the right way and not just follow random tutorials, I built a full game art program that walks you through the entire pipeline from an idea to a finished portfolio piece. It's split into 2 courses. Modeling and UV mapping foundations is the first one, and texturing, rendering, and presentation is the second. Each has over 40 modules, 15 hours of narrated content, exercises, time lapses, project files. And you're not doing it alone. You get access to a private Discord community where you can ask questions and get feedback along the way. If you want real-world production workflows you can use for both studio work and your personal projects, the program is live now. I'll see you there.